Let's start. My name is Zsolt Zsuffa, and and I have, as most of you, I have different hats. Uh, I run trainings for certified Scrum developers, and I architect our products, which is called Process Puzzle. And I'm the CEO of IT Codex of my company. And probably in the context of the next talk, this is the most important role, what I do. So let me first state that I'm not a lawyer, as you saw and heard before, so I can't touch this topic from the legal point of view. My concern is how to contract with our customers. As you know, I am a CEO of my company. I just want to move this down somehow. Maybe you are asking, or maybe your first question is, the contracts are important anyway to the Agilists, because if we go back to our roots, the Agile Manifesto says that customer collaboration is much more important than negotiating over the contract. So maybe one of you are asking that, do we need any contracts in the Agile world? I would like to say, of course, yes, and not only me is saying that we need contracts in the Agile world and Agile software development, because in the contracts we reflect our beliefs, our thoughts, hopes, and risks and fears about the upcoming project. So probably the most important thing is that we have to express somehow these properties or these feelings about the upcoming project. On the other hand, I would like to emphasize that our collaboration style, collaboration method with the customer should be expressed in the contract. If there is a mismatch between the two, then you are in trouble. I learned this rule in the hard way. I learned this rule due to different projects. For example, almost 10 years ago, I was a member of a product development team. The project was 5 months long. We developed an insurance products for an insurance company. The project started with 3 months long business analysis. There were 12 business analysts on the board, and they created in these 3 months more than 400 pages long design documentation. They left for us 2 months for the concrete implementation. I can say, and you guys guessed that this 2 months was pretty hard. And now I would like to emphasize that we could use only 12, 15 pages from this big design documentations. On the other hand, at the end of the project, we realized that not only the time was consumed by the analysis, but also the budget. And this was a little bit frustrating for us. So we worked overnight, we worked on the weekend, and the analysis, the analysis, the planning phase consumed 60–70% of the whole budget. In this case, the contract completely reflected what the managers thought about the collaboration. On the other hand, this thought, these imagined collaboration type wasn't in harmony with their reality. So I started to look for some other kind of solutions, and I compiled my first Agile contract. When after my company's foundation, we got a request to develop a reporting system for a government institute. This was a 6 month report, 6 months project. And now I could introduce our more or less agile contracting strategy, contract template. So we had we included iterations in the contract. We included acceptance tests in the contract. On the other hand, during the curve of this this project, I realized that the customer wasn't really interested in the collaboration. It was very hard to involve him in a sprint planning, ask their employees, their fellows to create the acceptance tests. A recurring excuse was that, sorry, George, we are so busy that we can't set up this planning meeting, or why we are bothering with defining acceptance tests, defining user stories. You are the developer, you get the money at the end of this project, so you have to know what kind of software we want. We survived this project. On the other hand, I realized that this was a very dangerous situation. So I would like to say, you guys don't do that, and I won't do this in the future. So I had to readjust our contracting strategy a little bit with a cancellation possibility. We included cancellation. After this project or a couple of others, we received a 3 months long webship development project. The customer in this case had a 1.5 page long vision document. We introduced our contracting strategy. It was based on iteration sprints, by the way, if you are using Scrum, acceptance test, and also we had the possibility to cancel. You see that this was a 3 months long project, so the customer was very interested in cooperating, and the first 2-3 sprints was run pretty much well. On the other hand, after the third iteration, the customer realized, and of course we also realized, that the imagined scope was much more wider than we could deliver. And then the customer started to refer back and back to the vision, and put more emphasis that his goal was to implement what was within the vision. So we canceled, in this case, the project. And I realized that probably it makes sense to add some payment conditions after each iteration to add to the contracting, because I'm pretty sure if the customer has to pay the results of one iteration, then he considers his involvement and his investment much more seriously. These were some experiences in the past. Now I would like to say some words, some ideas how to set up your contracting strategy. Probably one of the most important points is that your contracting strategy should be aligned, as I said before, aligned with your cooperation strategy. So if we if we know how the traditional approach is different, how the agile approach is different from the traditional approach, then we are pretty good. We will be, or you will be, pretty good to define your own contracts. I'm pretty sure you know that the scope is negotiable. On the other hand, we forget this again and again. So for some reasons, we fall back that we have some imagination about the scope, and we are trying to sticking ourselves, or especially the customer tries to stick himself to the previously imagined scope. So the scope is negotiable. Learning from our previous project, have the attitude more and more have the habit to say in the contract negotiation phase that, dear customer, we won't deliver all those ideas, all those functions what you have in your mind now. So I'm more and more clear that that the scope should be negotiable, and the preliminary vision will be changed very much, and product's development cannot be finished, it can be closed. Another very important difference between the classical strategy and the Agile strategy in the collaboration is that the responsibility sharing is pretty much different. Who knows XP? Those knows this rule that the product owner or the customer makes the business decisions, and the team is responsible to make the technical decisions. How this is expressed in the contract, for example. To the next sprint, no one user story, no new requirement cannot be scheduled without an associated acceptance test. I would like now to refer to Lisa's talk. She mentioned that her team had some problems about the scope of the user stories, and about the interpretation of the user stories. If you stick yourself to this rule that the user story has to have associated acceptance tests, and by the way, automated acceptance tests up front. So before you start to implement, you know, this is the test first idea. Then you, as a software developer, but by the way, both parties, so the customer and the software developer, will be in a much better situation because the acceptance criteria is known upfront. Why it is important that the product owner, the customer part, should define the acceptance test? Because defining acceptance test, the test coverage, the seriosities of the testing is a business decision. So therefore, the product owner should define